All right, over to the Meadowlands, the Rams and the Giants. Looks like Daniel Jones is probably going to play. We don't know who else is going to play behind him. Basically double digits across the board. This one, 48.5. I'm not going to have a wager on this one, but I do think the Rams beat the Giants fairly easily in this one because, one, Daniel Jones probably still have some cobwebs. Two, that offensive line stinks. And three, who the hell is going to be catching the football and running the football for the Giants? The last thing I want that to be is against a Rams team that should be fired up, ready to come in and rested off of beating the Seattle Seahawks the previous Thursday night. So you have a lot of time off. I think the Rams win this game fairly easily. Don't have to cap too much of this one for me.
Yeah, I mean, I won't touch this game either. I mean, West Coast to East Coast double-digit favorites. But, let's not kid around here. Daniel Jones is exponentially worse at home than he is on the road. They'd have a better chance of covering if this game was in L.A. Rams, much better up and down the field. You mentioned the terrible offensive line, the great defensive line for the Rams. Long Sunday for the Giants. This could be a nice teaser spot, teasing this down to 4.5. The Rams should get this done by a touchdown. I'm just not going to touch that double-digit spread, but there's no way you could back the Giants against the Rams right now.
Yeah, you're looking at possibly all three starting wide receivers down, your starting quarterback, and your starting running back. No thanks whatsoever. And man, if Danny Dimes gets back in there, well, I don't know what kind of upgrade that is over anybody anyway, but you're also taking a look at a guy who knows, hey, maybe you shouldn't run as much this week when that's basically what Danny Dimes does really well. We'll see if that becomes a factor here, but not the best team to go up against. But I won't be probably participating in that. Here's a game that's just got really interesting even this afternoon, Kyle. Taking a look here between Arizona and Cleveland, 267, 268. As we look at this one between the Arizona Cardinals and the Cleveland Browns, 3s and some 3.5s across the board. Over-under dropping from 53.5 down to that 49. That's just because the wind's going to be whipping a little bit in Cleveland this weekend. Keep an eye on that over the next 48 hours. They're anticipating like 20-mile-an-hour sustained winds, and then that means probably gusts of 30 to 35 miles an hour. That could wreak some havoc. But not good news today if you're looking to take the Cleveland Browns here. Both Chubb and Hunt back-to-back missed days of practice with different ailments. Keep in mind, make sure you watch tomorrow for that practice report or Saturday. But anytime you're missing back-to-back practices during the week, that's never a good thing. That means that, you'll show up on Sunday and they're playing, but they are nicked up as is. And that's going to be the key to the control of this game if you want to back, obviously, the Cleveland Browns. But also keep in mind, DeAndre Hopkins, back-to-back missed practices due to a sickness. So if he doesn't come to town, that's a lot of what the Arizona Cardinals like to do when all else fails. Well, you can throw it up to D-Hop, and he'll come down with that ball. If he's not there, then you're leaning on A.J. Green as if it's 2015 again when it's 2021. So I'm going to abstain from this game here because I need to see more. But if I get a healthy Cleveland ball club coming into Sunday, Kyle, they will beat the Arizona Cardinals and cover that line.
Yeah, I don't like this COVID list stuff. I don't like the wind that they're saying is going to be there. Now, I don't know how accurate that is. Keep in mind, I was looking at the well-renowned meteorologist who can't seem to get anything right here, but it does look like there's a chance to have some strong wind gusts. If you remember back to last year, this happens in Cleveland quite a bit, and they had that 3-game stretch where the weather was just awful and really windy, and that Browns offense couldn't do anything. So I'm looking at this total of 49. Got a banged-up Hopkins. We don't know who these 3 players are in COVID. We could have a win situation. Kyler Murray, a little bit banged up. Maybe the under 49.5 here makes a lot of sense, especially if you're going to get that win. Mm-hmm. I know these offenses have been explosive, especially last week with Cleveland. Arizona, not so much against the 49ers, but they've shown that they can score points. But if you're going to get those conditions and some banged-up players, especially if it's really windy, the Browns will not let Baker Mayfield throw. It's going to be run, and run. And you miss your number 1 wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins, could make things a little interesting. So I'd lean the under 49.5 here. If I'm picking a side, there's a trend out here. Undefeated teams going on the road who are underdogs have won, covered the spread 5 straight times and won 4 of those 5 outright. This scenario seems a little bit more difficult to me. I think they're going to struggle against the run there. But again, we need more information before you can confidently bet this game. Let's see who else is on this COVID list, who's out, who's in. A lot of question marks here, but right now as we sit, I lean Cleveland at home, and I lean that under 49.5.
Yeah, and also Bears practice report came out today. Back-to-back no practices for Khalil Mack. Back-to-back no practices for Akeem Hicks. Back-to-back no practices for Allen Robinson II. So we'll see who gets to the starting gate there for the Bears. And, of course, Friday, always the biggest day on the practice reports. You don't play Friday. It's basically 95% you are not going to play on Sunday. So keep in mind when you check that out here.